As a good YouTuber that I'm trying to be, I collect shit that I use up, and that is actually really disgusting because we're basically collecting trash, but you do what you gotta do. Oh, and please excuse the noise, but I just have to have my window open and there are like 2,000 birds outside, so they were cheeping and chirping. And a workmate of mine once told me, like, do you know what birds actually say when they like chirp at each other? They scream "fuck me," because that's what birds do, because they chirp because they want to attract a partner. So that changed my view on the world a bit. But I just had into these, and these are in no particular order. These are skincare, hair care, and makeup, and there are also some things in that I decluttered because I felt like, okay, I got enough use out of it, and now they feel a bit weird. The first thing I want to mention is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. I don't know what I thought, but I've been using Batiste dry shampoo for 10 years, I think. I think 10. And every once in a while I feel like, oh, you have to use something new. You have to try something new. And so I bought this fucker, which is 10 times the price of Batiste, and it's not good. I know this is a favorite to a lot of people, but this is just a bad dry shampoo. I'm sorry that I have to say it, but this is sticky. Like, I felt like my roots, whenever I sprayed it, were like sticky, and my finger felt sticky afterwards, and even my brush, like my hair comb, was sticky. No. This is definitely something I will not repurchase. I have used up the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder, which is a very sad thing to me because I really love this powder. I would totally repurchase this, but not at this point, since I do have 10 or 11 other under eye setting powders that I want to use up. I decided to call these two empty. So the NYX Brow Glue technically is not empty, and for this one I'm also sure that it's not empty. This is the NYX Thick It Stick It, but this one I have had since it came out 2 years ago, I think. And it's just like very, very weird, because it is a clear version. It takes like the color of your brows when you do pencil or brow powder, and then it turns into this weird gray formula. I do have a backup of this, but in the tinted version, I can't wait to try that. And for the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel, this is so good, but this smells like alcohol paint. I think this just basically turned rancid. But these two are two of the few drugstore items that I still have in my collection and that I would actually repurchase. Another brow product that I used up completely, this is a mini version of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel, and you see there are white residues because when you don't close the lid properly, it turns white instead of clear. This is the second one that I used up. I used up one of the bigger pots or jars, and that took me a year, and the smaller one took me half a year, and now I have already opened a big one again, so that will take me another year. But I really love this as a first step to like tame the brows. I call this used up because this is now open for half a year, and it gets like really dry. The Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes mascara, this is my favorite mascara of all the time, so I don't have to repurchase this because I have two of these in my backup drawer. Another powder that I used up is the Kosas Cloud Set. This is in the shade, this was the shade Airy, which is the lightest. Definitely an item that I will not repurchase because I think I'm not a baked powder girl at all. Another used up mascara, technically, this is the Clinique Lash Building Primer, and I cannot tell you when this started, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, but at this point in my life, I cannot do mascara without a mascara primer. This one was okay, I've had better, and the one that I've currently opened, which is the Lancome, whatever, the Lancome primer, that is much better than this, because this is too wet. There's just too much going on, and I also didn't see any changes in the way my lashes look by the end of the day, which I can see in the Lancome one. So this is a makeup item that I don't call empty, because it clearly is not, but I decluttered that. I have talked about this on my Instagram story, so if you don't follow me, you can find me on Instagram with the name allagram_makeup, and on TikTok allagram.makeup. There's something in these, like this one and the liquid silk one, which I have in another pile because this is like nearly full, so I try to sell this currently. My skin don't like that. Like I have had, when I concentrated my makeup routines on both of these primers because I wanted to test out how they work with the different foundations, my skin got it got like really bumpy, like a rash but without the redness, and my whole forehead was bumpy, and when I stopped using this my skin went back to normal in like 3 days. I'm pretty sure this had to do with that. There was also a change in skincare that could have caused this, but I changed my skincare back to what I was used to a week after I stopped using these, so I'm pretty sure it was like 90% the Tatcha products and 10% the skincare. Let's call this empty. The Be Perfect X Stacey Marie sponge. This came exclusively in the brush set they had last year, I think. Was it last year? Yes, last holiday. And I do usually use my sponges at least 6 months or so because I wash them with soap every day, so you don't have to throw them out, and I even put them in the washing machine once a month. But this one, like the core is already is stiff. But you know what we can do now? This has been sitting in my empties bag for a month now. So let's just cut that fucker open and see what actually is stiff inside. So let's do that. I love that. It's really hard. Oh my god, this is so disgusting. Isn't that mold? Oh god, please no. Look at that. That is inside the sponge, and that is what feels actually stiff. Let's cut that top part again. Look at that. Oh no, fuck me. I probably should have thrown this out for longer. But I actually don't think that this is mold. This looks like dried up and gathered foundation inside that like basically went inside the sponge the more I washed it. Okay, so that's the other half. Kids, just exchange your sponges every now and then. Oh, by the way, I'm currently using this one. This is from the Beauty Bakery. They had like 6 sponges in a carton that looks like egg. So really cool. A skincare item that I used up. This is the Pixi Skin Treats Glow Mud Cleanser. I love this. This is a point perk from Sephora. I do have another one as a backup, also as a point perk. And I'm really thinking of buying the full size because this feels amazing on the skin. And last but not least, even if you can't really see it, but this is the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener in the shade Light, but I don't know, can you see that? Can you focus? There is nothing in there. There's like the tiniest bit on the bottom left, but the thing can't reach it now. The applicator is now full of product. That could also be because it was like flying around in this bag, and this started smelling. Like this smells a little bit like paint. And I compared the smell between this one and the new one that I have opened, so this is definitely not usable anymore. And as I just said, I already opened a new one because I just love that, and when I bought this initially in January when it launched, I gave it a very bad review, but at this point I cannot live without it. So that's it for the shit that I used up or decluttered in June. I hope you guys like those trash videos because I collect trash because I am trash. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one.